This, we would like to proceed for our next panel discussion, and the topic for this discussion is technology, the face of tomorrow. And for this, I would like to call our first panel member, and I want everybody out here, please give it up for Mr. Tarun Kumar, DGM Quality from Guilt Free Industries. Let's give him a huge round of applause. Okay, and the next panel member, please put your hands together for Mr. Achintya Lahiri, Head Packaging and Engineering Innovation from Coca-Cola. Let's give him a huge round of applause. The next gentleman is Mr. Divyanshu Raval, Executive Director from Walpar Nutritions Limited. Please put your hands together for Dr. Dheeraj Mishra, Manager Operations Biscuits from Mondelez, India Foods Private Limited. The next panel member is Mr. Kunal, Kasera, Director from Gokul Foods Private Limited. Let's give him a huge round of applause, everyone. And last but not the least, our moderator, Mr. Manas Mishra, DGM Corporate Quality Assurance from Patanjali Foods Limited. Let's give him a huge round of applause. Before we start a panel discussion, I would request each one of you, let's give them a huge round of applause to all of our panel members. And sir, over to you. Mic is over there and stage is all yours. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So thank you, Zynex, for just organizing this event. And let's meet this multiple food and business experts, which is with this transformation for food industry also. So before starting this panel discussion, I will request my each of everyone panelists to just get us started towards our people's audience presence. Start with that.
Hi, my name is Kunal Kasera. I'm a second generation entrepreneur and my company's name is Gokul Foods Private Limited. Predominantly, we are contract manufacturers of food products in the country. Thank you.
Myself, Dr. Dheeraj Mishra. I am taking care of operations of biscuits in Mondelez for North India.
Hello, I'm Divyanshu Raval from Walpar Nutritions Limited. We are contract research and manufacturing organization in nutraceutical, herbal and Ayurvedic formulations.
Hi everybody, I'm Achintya. I head packaging and engineering for the Bottling Investments Group, which is a subsidiary of the Coca-Cola company. We lead packaging and engineering for all company bottling operations in Southeast Asia, Indian subcontinent and the Middle East. Prior to Coke, I was with the pharmaceutical industry, again doing a variety of roles out there, including packaging and engineering.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Kumar, Tarun. I'm working as a DGM quality for guilt-free RPSG FMCG group. Earlier to this, I was working with ITC. Before to that, I was with PepsiCo. So basically, I am in quality manufacturing and operations category.
So thank you, panelists, for this introduction. Basically, myself, Mishra. So I'm from Patanjali Group. Previously, to this I was with the multiple multinational groups. Basically, we are here for a discussion of topic is the packaging automation 4.0. So, packaging automation is a very small word, but the topic is too broad. It doesn't sense like it in Switch 4.0, it will come on 4.0 also. So, if we go for a packaging word, so packaging is just like normal, because we are all professionals, so we don't know what the packaging, what does it require. Many more things are there, but for a common consumers, for understanding the perspectives of automations, it requires many more lenient topics, it requires many more lenient understanding over the minimum requirement to the maximum cost cutting process also. So I would ask with, one of my panelists, Tarun sir, what do you think about this optimization of the cost efficacy for this packaging ideas? Because cost is the core factor which is going to implement on this lower or the higher values, maybe the buy cost or maybe the duplicate the product quality, maybe it could be anything on there. So only the optimization, only the automation could not be solution. So how much cost with optimization with all these experts could be impacted this?
Very nice question. We have seen we have heard Mr. Srinivas Chaudhary, very nice presentation which he has given on packaging automation, end of packaging automation. See, when we talk about cost and beyond cost, first we need to understand how organization P&L runs. There's a term called ROCE, return on capital employed. It is about the profit which organization generating, which is called EBITDA, divided by assets plus working capital. Automation helps to reduce the working capital a lot. How it has been done? See, there are different levels of automation. Once we start is like sensors. There are multiple sensors which can be installed on machines. Second is machine automation, we seen in the last presentation. Third is unit level automations where the whole production line is automated and been communicating to each other. And fourth, factory level, and fifth is enterprise level. So when we talk about enterprise level automation, where the demand planning, production scheduling, raw material forecasting, procurement, and manufacturing, then front-end dispatches, and also the forecasting of dispatches, which distributor needs what kind of material. Like the live example is Asian Paints. So there it helps a lot to save the working capital for an organization. If you, a different organization, specifically the food industry, 10% or 20% of money is involved in blocked in working capital. If it can be released by even 5 to 10%, it would be great relief. As the CFO of the organization, he will tell you very practically this. So overall automation is helping one side towards improving the OEE, which is original equipment efficiencies. Second, improving yields. Third, reducing cost, whether it is a cost of electrical power, whether it is a cost of steam, whether it is a cost of air generation, compressed air generation, or removal of manual labor to make it automated. Ultimately, it is overall improving the efficiency of manufacturing. Then we seen in the last presentation how the automation at last end of the packaging line, where palletizing, auto dispatches, truck filling, which has been done. This is all helping in terms of save cost for the organization. Second side, in terms of automation, also in quality, there are a lot of sensors, there are a lot of screening machines which are available on pressure, temperature, optical sensors, right? Which is helping to improve the quality of product which has been sold, right? So in organizations where I have seen some glass manufacturers which were earlier in 2004-5, where there were a lot of defects which used to come to the beverage industry, and glass bottle used to burst. And there used to be glass pieces into it, and there were a lot of rejection. 0.5% of rejection was with the beverages with the glass pieces. I was involved in the process with HNG AGI, where the investment was around 50-60 CR. And the whole industry has changed. Right? Thanks.
Okay, so one more question from my side. Because we are talking about these cost factors, we are talking about this optimization. So, what's the efficacy criteria? Like how much sensors are effective? Because definitely there are some log errors, there are some like bypass, there are some maybe the control measures which could be bypassed where sensors is automated. So, what is the efficacy criteria? How much the success rate for this sensor or automation on that part?
It's a very simple answer to it. Today, yesterday, we were all doing manual transactions, even at shops, at banks. Today, we are doing all UPI. And in G20, you might have heard it, across world, UPI is unique to India. No other country is having UPI. It's a simple automation. So it is definitely
in terms of efficacy, it is much more better than manual. In terms of cost, it can be made cost effective. It depends on the vision or the goal of the organization or intended team who want to implement it.
Okay, thank you. So my next point is this, Achintya. So because like we are discussing about this automation, cost, sensors, all that. So how much is the reduction error log chances on that human errors, and how is it going to impact this all advice?
Before we get to actually what is the reduction, let's understand a little bit about your customer base. Now, when you manufacture a product, from that point in time till the time the product is getting to the customer's hand and he's opening it, there is a factor where you can have an error, which means incorrectly packed, which means incorrectly used laminate, which can mean incorrectly handled product. Now, delivered package quality is a concept which we should all embrace, wherein we look at end-to-end from the point of manufacturing. How do we enhance delivered package quality? We enhance delivered package quality by putting in sensors, by putting in automation. Imagine you have to stack some boxes out there. Let's start with the end of line only. You have to stack some boxes. If you're doing it manually, your operator or the person who's doing it is fatigued. Because of fatigue, he might stack it incorrectly. During transportation, might topple over. As a result, your precious cargo, which would have been worth maybe a few lakh rupees or whatever, a few thousand rupees, is destroyed. Now, this is where automation, sensors, robotics comes into play to handle that delivered package quality. If I take a step back from there, moving in towards the fillers, etc., we are legally bound as manufacturers to provide certain quantity, minimum quantity of product. Automation comes in handy there, wherein that certain quantity of product can be provided properly, whether it is the right fill level or whether it is the right closure, or rather the sealing container of the container closure system. That's where automation comes in handy. Depending upon your need, you need to look at what kind of a speed of automation do you need. It's available in various ranges, from lines or rather equipment which will operate at maybe 10 cycles per minute, going up to equipment which will operate at maybe 80 to 90 cycles, to going up to equipment like the lines of most beverage manufacturers, high-end beverage manufacturers, which will be in the range of maybe 800 to 1000 bottles per minute. Automation comes in handy there. But then the various ranges of automation are dependent upon how we do it. At some point in time, we used to look at interference-based sensors for inspecting whether a fill level has been attained or not, or whether there is a product in a package or not. Today, from interference-based sensors, we've moved to camera-based sensors, which are much more accurate. Automation today has become a lot simpler than what it used to be, with the advent of programming, with the advent of newer technologies and robots and cobots. With that, it is today very simple to automate. Efficacy of automation, as has been pointed out, is quite high, and implementation has become actually very simple today. So, in summary, I would say automation efficacy is, and error chances have gone down to about what, 0.01 to 0.02% in case of high-speed lines, which is a lot. 0.01% on a 800 or 1000 BPM line would translate to something like 0.0001% on probably a 200 BPM line. So that's wherein automation efficacy has today risen from the past levels, and will keep rising with each passing day.
Okay, so thank you, sir. Thank you. The next one more point of this, because like we discussed the cost, we discussed the human errors, then efficacy. So it's a transformation phase. The 4.0 is something, not a little word. So what are the global initiatives? What are the key steps which are, because you are an entrepreneur, you are seeing a visions from the top of the layers. So what's your view, and what the global initiative you see in this automation phase?
Yeah, packaging transformation in food and beverage industry is, it is taking place. I mean, innovations are happening every now and then, and many things have come which are like were not expected. Like these nanomaterials, particularly, you see, is for increasing the efficacy, safety, particularly efficacy, at the same time shelf life of the formulations. The antimicrobial agents are impregnated in that. They are within that in MOC, and by that way shelf life is increased. So I mean, and this is driven by multiple factors, like consumers are getting aware about the safety of the this food and beverage industry, like products and all. At the same time, for wastage also they are getting aware of, and advancement in packaging materials, like that is also playing a vital role, and they demand. I mean, consumers across the globe, they are demanding sustainable product. They are demanding something which is fresh. So these are all factors which are driving this forward. And to give some examples, like active packaging, someone was talking about, like moisture absorbers, oxygen absorbers. Those are added in the. For an example, I am from nutraceutical industry, so I would say that in multivitamin tablets we have this desiccants which are kept in, so which would absorb moisture, and by that way you can increase the shelf life of products. So that's the one example. Like that, oxygen busters are also used, like products which are oxygen sensitive because of oxidation. Yeah, one example I would give where in strip packing, in the cavity, nitrogen is purged just to make sure that nutraceutical products are lasting for 18 months and more than that. Otherwise what is happening, like in many cases we have seen that strips are swollen over the period of time because of the oxidation happening. It was the case with ferrous ascorbate tablet, which is again nutraceutical product. So another example I would give, this MAP. We all have heard, like within the cavity we are modifying the environment. I mean, inert gases are used, and those are blanketed within the formulation. So by that way, what you can do is like increase the shelf life. Then again, as you have mentioned, like this thing, there are strips which are kept, which would turn their colors as the product ages. In milk industry, it is common. So these are some examples like which are emerging. Nanomaterials, as I told already, track and trace systems, those are also getting in, and serialization particularly. By that way, you can know that from farm to fork how your product has been made. So these things are emerging and probably would change the whole scenario of packaging industry. That's what we believe. Thank you very much.
Okay, so one question from my side. How do you see the next era of this foreseen by this packaging towards industry changes going on?
Yeah, next era is more of automation for sure. Manual interventions would be reduced, and automation would increase the stability of the product also. I would give you one example where in my industry there was a guy handling this tablet coating part, and in between he was feeling itching in the hand, and he has removed the gloves, and at that time some problem occurred during coating, so he had touched in there, and because of that moisture from the hand got absorbed in that tablet and it was degraded, and that complaint was received, and we have investigated and then came to know that because of the human intervention he has touched in there. So what we have done is like we have gone for the automation for that, and there we have reduced that particular problem. So I mean eliminated that particular problem. So by that, this is the example I am giving. So that's what is going to happen. Automation is going to play a vital role, not only in increasing quality, efficacy, safety. I mean all together, all the pillars are going to be taken care of. It is something like you are giving package to them, and that is best for consumption. And automation for sure would drive it forward. That's what I believe.
Yeah, please.
See, just imagine you are eating a noodle of masala variant and you get an sachet of spices of classic variant. Excitingly, you have bought it to enjoy, and later on, you find it that I am not enjoying. So what to do with that? So that is one kind of, I would say, defect which has gone to market. Second kind of defect, which is for the partners. You are supplying a crate or filled boxes. There are 2 pouches or 2 units missing into it. What he will feel, how he will explain, because it is a loss to him. He will lose confidence on the company from whom he is getting the supplies. Third, beverages or beverage-based drinks. You are getting a foreign matter. A bottle which you are drinking of Pepsi or Coke or any beverage which was in glass earlier, 80%, and you are getting a gutka pouch or cigarette butt into it, or a glass piece into it. What is your opinion into that? Fourth thing, I have seen in my career multiple times the date coding on the pack. By mistake, it is getting changed. Whether there is a power shutdown and machine restarts, it takes some year 2000 date. So there are solutions in terms of automation into it. More on automation, I would like to say digitalization. When all the data which has been captured by different departments in the factory, the data trend, the analysis of data, fault finding into the data, action plan can be made through the digitalization, which is a part of automation.
Okay, thank you. That's nice. This is the actual situation.
Yeah, so touching a bit more upon digitalization, today most equipment manufacturers or OEMs, they actually use PLCs from Siemens. There are other manufacturers who are using Omron, Mitsubishi, etc., multiple PLCs available in the market. But then with PLCs with Siemens, you can actually pick up the address register from where all of this data is being stored and convert it into and take it into a SCADA system. As a result, what was discussed with regards to those errors, proofing of those errors, root cause analysis, all that becomes a lot easier. That's one aspect. But we are not very keen on doing that, primarily because we don't want that error to happen. What also can be done is looking at the efficiencies. Your line efficiency, where was the stop? Why did that stop happen? Was it because of a foreign contaminant in the preform, or was it because of a misaligned preform, or what was it because of a overfilled bottle or bottle kind of rejections? That is the area where automation and getting this supervisory control will help in improving our lives.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So, Dheeraj sir, we have discussed about this global initiative, we discussed about this multiple improvements plans, multiple things over these cascades of these automations. So my concern is about what you think and what's your views on the safe automation practices to the packaging, because it's not limited to the food, it's limited to the, like, if something happens that will impact that on the human foods. Because like in pharma segments, pharma is like it's lifeline for the people. But food, which is the regular lifeline of people, so what's the safe practice, which is basically you initiatives as a C part of organization?
Thank you, Manas. I think this is a very good question, and this is the most important question for automation. First thing, we need to understand why we are doing automation, what is our objective. So other than cost part, which Tarun has captured very well, I would say there are three basic things for automation in terms of safety. First thing is human safety, second thing is quality, and third thing is sustainability. Whether by doing this automation, we are keeping our organization, our workers, our lines, our system, our PLCs safe or not. So this is first thing. Second thing, with what automation we are doing, whether that automation is safe. So before selecting any automation, because see, automation is generally customized solutions. So we cannot take any of the robot and cannot install on any of the line. So any robot, cobot, or any other process automation, if we are doing, so that will be always customized as per your product. For beverage, that may be different. For biscuits, that may be different. For chocolate, that may be different. But when we are going for automation, so first thing we need to understand safety of that particular. particular part. So whether this robot is safe. So we need to understand complete risk assessment of that particular robot or whatever automation we want to do. And basis that, and that risk assessment is not only for human safety. We need to do risk assessment for your human safety, for machine safety, as well as for food safety. So that is your HACCP. So HACCP part we need to capture in detail. Your human safety part you need to capture in detail, and then environment safety and sustainability part you need to capture in detail when you are taking any automation in the process. Right? Second, nowadays most important thing is sustainability. Whether this automation is adding any value in my process in terms of sustainability. So that is one more important thing. Now, if we talk about automation, once we have selected that we are going to do this kind of automation on this of the line. So this basic part we need to capture first, and then when we have selected, then in the process automation start from your raw material handling and then goes up to your packaging, dispatch, and even up to market. Means if you are sending some product to the market, there are a lot of automation available up to the market, so you can trace and track. So when we talk about plant, and generally since most of the people are from food industry, so we are talking about food plant. So in food plant, first thing we need to start whether our recipe compliance is right or not. So for recipe compliance and then for traceability, these are the basic things for food safety. So we need to have certain scan and consume kind of mechanism which we can incorporate, and these are low cost solutions available. So everybody can do this, it's not very costly. So low cost solutions you can implement, particularly scan and consume kind of things. Then you can ensure that your recipe is compliance. Your product, whatever you are making, this is as per recipe. Then second thing, whatever ingredients you are using, or that is traceability you can maintain through systems. Then you can integrate that with this data with your system, and you can online evaluate what ingredient, which batch number, which supplier, whatever you have used, so everything you can do. Second thing comes to the line. Then on line, when your product is produced, quality comes into the picture. You are producing continuous product, then each and every single product, that may be biscuit, that may be chocolate, that may be cold drink, that may be whatever, that is 100% as per your quality standard, as per your quality compliance. So you need to ensure that. For that, basic systems, I think everybody is having metal detector or checkweighers, these are basics. Now advanced one is, you are having cameras, you are having Sortex machines, that is slightly advanced one. X-ray machines, most of the nutraceutical products, etc. in our Bonvita or nutraceutical, we are using X-ray machines. Slightly advanced version is coming. Suppose we are producing a biscuit, and whether my biscuit is 100% color is as per my standard, that whatever cream deposition we are doing, if that is a cream biscuit, that is as per my quality standard, some cream is not coming out, some cell is not misaligned. For that, we have taken, basically in our plant also, we have installed cameras. So there is a set of cameras. So they are doing imaging of each and every product. And once you install camera, so first thing you need to teach imaging to the system. And then camera will do imaging of your product online, and that will match with your system image. And then if product is not matching with your system image, that will reject then and there. Then you will ensure 100% product are going as per quality norms defined by you. Second thing, weight as per legal methodology also you need to maintain. So whether weight you are managing, then for weight also there are now robots available. So they will keep on payment of your product basis 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever frequency, whatever line selection, whatever process you define, they will keep on doing. And now they are so advanced, and this basic IoT and Industry 4.0 basic startup part of that. So they will take bait. If your bait is right, then they will not do anything. Product will continue. If bait is not right, they will give signal to your back-end machine, and your back-end machine will correct bait. Similarly, when we move to packaging, in packaging also there are continuous seal integrity monitor, etc. So they will monitor your seal is right. There are cameras. Camera will monitor whether batch code is perfect or not. If batch code is not perfect, that will give signal. Your machine will stop. So those kind of interlocks are over. Now, when you have sent your product to the market, the question arises now what in the market. So now systems are available. You might have seen lot of QR codes available on several packaging machines. So in QR codes, packaging developer or marketing person, they inbuilt lot of information in your QR code. So if we talk about packaging developer, now with AI and AR and VR, packaging developer, before sending packaging material to the line, he can evaluate if I am putting this laminate on the packet, how this product will look like through AR. Then he can, through VR, he can see, he can understand how this product will look like in the market shelf. So basis that he can define packaging before even doing line trial, because and that is a big cost saving, whatever Tarun has initiated in the beginning. So suppose a packaging developer has developing one laminate, and then he is taking line trial, then sending to the market person, then brand manager is evaluating, then salesperson is giving feedback. This doesn't look nice in the shelf. People will not purchase. So that everything they can do. And this is very easy now on Amazon, Flipkart, on Titan, on Tanishq. You can see what jewelry will look like on your, how this your specs will look like. So this is very common now, and this is not very costly as well. So these things now people have started in food industry as well. Then on packaging, you are giving certain message. Recently, Cadbury has launched one QR code on our gifting packs. You scan and you will redirect to the mycadburybirthdaysong.com. So you can send personalized song message to your loved ones. Recently, we launched in Oreo one, Say It with Oreo. You scan QR code and that will redirect to the site, and through Ayushman Khurana you can ask any questions. So though it is not any questions, there are set of questions you want to ask your boss, you want to ask your wife, you want to ask your husband, you want to ask your son. So that part you can do. So these are packaging innovations. Now if we want to monitor how my product is doing in the market, so now there are RFID tags. So through RFID, many companies, particularly who are maintaining cold chain, through RFID tags, they are maintaining that in market, whether my cold chain is intact, whether there is any temperature shock or any mismanagement, even traceability, even supply chain. Through RFID, if your RFID is integrated to your system, you can monitor by sitting here that you have produced 1,000 boxes, my 500 boxes are in Calcutta, my 2,000 boxes are in Jabalpur or maybe any part of India or abroad, you can monitor. And whatever data you want to give to the RFID, you can monitor temperature, you can monitor traceability, you can monitor inventory, so whatever you want, so you can do. More advanced, there are color changing labels. So many cold chain companies, particularly in meat industries, they are using color changing labels. So suppose you have developed a label that is having 3 colors. So suppose your product shelf life is 20 days. So with 20 days, this will be green. When it will come to 10 days, it will be amber. When it will come to 5 days, it will be red. And when it is coming to less than 5 days or 4 days, whatever you define, it will become. And this will give you message also. Otherwise, on shelf you can be very easily. So supermarket, these people can just go and see if people is not so trained, so they will just read, you will see this color of the wrapper and they can understand this product is now out of shelf life, so we need to remove. So these kind of things are available. So safety means start from your plant up to end consumer. You can ensure whether your product is on right path or in right hand. And generally this data logger, etc., cold chain, like in our all chocolates are transported in cold chain. So we are maintaining data logger data of every single vehicle.
So that all can be covered in this on the safe automations.
Yeah.
Like label identifications, we are going to all to cover. So do you see any foreseen risk on this? Any risk opportunity? Because like these factors are always there. So
see, risk generally, if you are doing something, so always there is a risk. But if you are, in the beginning itself I told, if you are doing any automation, so first thing should be clear why I am doing this automation. And when I am selecting certain automation, so before selection and before installation of the line, we need to do this risk assessment. If we will do that risk assessment and our risk assessment is proper, then future risk will be definitely avoided. But if that part will be missing, then definitely future risk is going to come.
Yeah,
so nobody can help on that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So those are the things very important.
So a major risk. So major risk of very high-end automation is you won't get, or the talent which you are hiring is of no use.
Right. So that is a challenge currently, but that also can be mitigated.
Yes. So organization or industries are planning and proper training programs for the talent, for their education and understanding of basis of automation or the basic science. If today we are hiring some chemist or engineer at a factory, even with an automated line, they don't know the basics. And that is becoming the challenge or backlog for the industry. That needs to be handled.
So they have to be made skilled in that way. And if automation is coming up, then again there are many areas where we can train people, because and this is unskilled. These are unskilled tasks which are going to be taken care by robots and all. But there are many other areas where we can give training and we can make them skillful, because everything cannot be replaced. Human activities are always will be there, and that's what, like, training is important, education is important, and capability building for sure.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Dheeraj sir. Thank you so much, because this was really sensible topic. Because we are moving towards automations, we are thinking about the automation, we are thinking about the upgradations, but somehow we also need to be think on the manpower deployments, their skill upgradations, their utilizations, everything needs to be also assessed. Okay, thank you, sir. So my next question to with Kunal sir. So Kunal sir, because you are also in the industry, because builders, and you are seeing the 14 image of the products and market perspective. So what do you think that what could be the next requirement for packaging automation and packaging industries, or in terms of food and this beverage category? Because it is not limited to something automations, like we are going for the AI, we are going for the like auto lifters, something like digital loggers, everything are there, but what next do you see as on that?
Thank you for the question. I think packaging as an overall perspective in FMCG, if we talk about, it is very important, because the product inside is the second thing probably that the customer feels, but the first thing exactly is the packaging that we see either on the shelf, or the way it is marketed, or the modern forms that sir was mentioning now is AR or VR. So coming along to the next, what industry would require in terms of packaging, I think that will be a lot of customization, which currently I feel in terms of FMCG and food and beverages is not available at scale. So customization at scale will be something I think will be a lot important, because of the fact that the way the FMCG market is changing and has evolved over the years. So if we talk about, probably 15 years back from today, my access to FMCG was probably only, the HULs or the L'Oreals and the big brands which was just available to a mom and pop store, beside my house. Distribution was very, very hyper local. It is not that today. D2C brands are coming in, new ways of omni-channel distributions are coming in. And that is why the world is now a global market. So because of that, I believe there will be amazing amount of innovations coming into packaging, which will be customization. So that is my opinion in terms of that question.
Okay, so thank you, sir. Also, thank you all panelists, because like we were discussing, the subject was the packaging automation. So it doesn't limit to not only automation, it limited to the consumer safety also. It limits to the something which discussing the human touch, no human touch for the food products. Because we are discussing the frozen food, we are discussing the beverages, we are discussing the ice creams, we are discussing the milk. So many more categories are there, which is not something bacterial risk are there. So it doesn't risk only for the health up, it doesn't risk for the food fraud, food defense, many more things are there in multiple segments. Even most of the people who are sitting here from the different food industries, we are exporting market. So exports have on a different segments requirement about the regulations, about the food quality, food packages. So somehow the automation is quite important, and it needs to be assessed. It needs to be assessed in terms of this data loggers, risk reductions, risk analysis. So thank you all. We have just got for a base understanding of all these automation segments. Rest to the audience for question and answers.
I head Roema India. We make packaging machines, mainly for flexibles. There was a discussion about skill sets needed for automation. So just want to share a little bit of work we have done in that area. The concept is to build what we call as a smart machine. Currently, the machines are dumb, and the operator is expected to be smart. That means you go on the machine and select parameter, what temperature you want. There are several parameters that you have to select for a machine to run properly. So India, one of the main problems is attrition. So we have, unlike Europe and US, we have people changing all the time. So we have to somehow see how the new person comes in and the operation continues without a break. So the smart machine, what you do is you don't set the machine for parameters, but instead of that, you just set like you do in your Google Maps. You simply say where you want to go. It shows you the way. Similarly, let's say I am packing atta. I go into the machine and say I want to pack 5 tons of atta in 1 kilo, right? The machine will simply, and there will be pictures, it will say, is the film okay? Have you put the right film? If you want that also to be automated, you can put a camera, and the camera will see it and tell you. Is the product okay, assuming you are running several SKUs? And then you say, I want to produce 5 tons. The machine will say, I'll start and I'll finish at 4:45 p.m. It will do all the settings, and before it starts, it will make some sample batch. You have to simply say, is it okay, not okay? And within a certain band, it will adjust automatically. And then let's assume that at 4:45, your production is not finished. It actually runs till 7 o'clock. It will give you an analysis of what were the stoppages in the line, which led to a delayed completion of the order. This is a smart introduction you can do on a single unit or a single machine level. Now you assume that you have a line of 10, 15 machines. You can go into a centralized PPC module where you simply say, I want to produce so much in 1 kg, so much in half a kg, so much in 5 kg. And you've written a program where you have allocated which machine will do what. So now the machine will call out the operator and say, I have been asked to do 5 kgs, 4 tons. So you go through the initial process I said, and you will get an overview, right? And if you want to go to the next level, we have not reached there, we need an IT support. Imagine a salesman going to a kirana shop and he will simply swipe what orders he took. It will go to a central server. That central server will say, okay, this order came from Gurgaon. The nearest packing station is in Delhi. So it will send that production requirement to Delhi, and the Delhi PPC schedule will do all that and give the machine. So it is very easy now with the kind of hardware. And in India, I say we are lucky, we are part of a German group. And I always tell them we are lucky in India because the kind of IT and software related skill sets we have. In fact, very often when they come and they see what we have done, they ask, "Hamare yahan kyun nahi banta Germany? Can you help us?" So there is possibility of getting the skills out of automation. All you need to tell the person is, isko pick. And then language is no longer a barrier when you pictorially represent what needs to be done. So I just wanted to share this.
Okay. Thank you. That was the information what we were discussing also. That skill upgradation is a quite important factor because like things are there and we can just do that. But my
point was really that we can put the skill upgradation on the back burner if the machine is smart.
Sure. Thank you. It's open for questions. Anyone?
So just to sum up the entire panel discussion that we had today about packaging 4.0, I think it is very, very important to understand that as a country that is leading in software and manufacturing, we are collecting data at various data points inside the industry. But to gather the intelligence, what we are coming down to as BI today, business intelligence, is about gathering all of that data, connecting in a process flow, in a street of map from the production, from the entire life cycle of the product until it reaches the consumer, and then trying to understand the product journey. And as we rightly mentioned, that about what are the goals in terms of when we talk about digitalization and automation. So I think, IoT in this space will play a very important role because that is the particular technology that connects various technologies at scale and processes that particular data. So really excited to see how packaging 4.0 will shape up. Thank you.
Thank you so much to all the panel members. Let's give them a huge round of applause, everyone. Okay, to felicitate all the panel members, I would like to call on stage, please put your hands together, Mr. Deepak Gupta from ITC. Let's give him a huge round of applause. Mr. Deepak Gupta. Okay, so for the felicitation, firstly I would like to call Mr. Tarun Kumar. Let's give him a huge round of applause. Mr. Achintya Lahiri. Mr. Divyanshu Raval. Dr. Dheeraj Mishra. Mr. Kunal Kasera. our moderator, Mr. Manas Mishra. Thank you so much to all the panel members, and thank you so much, Mr. Deepak, for joining us on the stage.